Marries. Place 1. The Volta River, the river that marries the living. There are places in Africa that elders refuse to describe once the sun has gone down. Not because the stories are too old, or because they have been forgotten, but because saying their names at night is believed to draw attention. And in many parts of the continent, attention is dangerous. These places are not ruins. They are not abandoned. They are not dead. They are awake. And they have always been awake. Long before roads cut through the land, before borders were drawn, before maps tried to explain what could not be understood, these places were already there, watching, listening, waiting. People who lived close to them learned rules. Not written rules, not laws, but instructions whispered from one generation to the next. Never answer when your name is called at night. Never follow music you cannot see. Never accept gifts that appear without explanation. Never sleep where elders say the ground is restless. These were not superstitions. They were survival. Africa does not only carry history, it carries memory. And memory remembers the things humans try desperately to forget. Among all the cursed places spoken of in low voices across the land, there is one that does not hunt, does not chase, does not scream. It does not need to. It invites. It waits. It sings. And once it has chosen you, resistance no longer matters. That place is the Volta River. At night, the Volta River does not behave like water. Fishermen say there are evenings when the current suddenly slows, then stops entirely, as if the river itself is holding its breath. The air grows heavy. Insects fall silent. And in that stillness, something begins to move, not on the surface, but beneath it. That is when the singing starts. Soft, slow, beautiful, not loud enough to alarm, not urgent enough to fear, just enough to listen. Those who hear it say the sound does not travel through the ears. It enters directly into the mind. And the first thing it does is speak a name. Not the name written on documents. Not the name shouted across marketplaces, but the childhood name. The one spoken only in the home. The one remembered by mothers. When a voice knows that name, fishermen understand immediately. This is not human. Some first see her standing at the edge of the water. Others swear they see her reflection before they ever see her face. She is described the same way every time, even by people who have never met. Skin glowing without light. Hair dark and heavy like wet silk. Eyes calm, ancient, patient. Her feet never disturb the sand. She does not wave. She does not beckon. She waits. And when the fisherman looks away, even for a moment, she is gone. But the river remains changed. After that night, nothing is ever the same. Within days, things begin to shift. Nets return heavy with fish where once they came back empty. Money appears without explanation. Fortunes rise too quickly to be trusted. Men who struggled all their lives suddenly live as if blessed. Villagers notice. Elders notice. And when elders notice, they grow afraid. Because they have seen this pattern before. They know what follows. They warn quietly. They never accuse. They simply say the river has noticed you. And once the river notices you, it does not look away. Then the dreams begin. Not ordinary dreams, but vivid ones. Dreams where the men walk beneath the river without drowning, where water behaves like air and light bend strangely. They see ceremonies deep below the surface. Drums that do not echo, figures without faces, hands pulling them forward, gently, lovingly. And always, she is there, wearing beads no market sells, smiling with familiarity, calling them husband. Some men wake up with wet footprints leading from their beds to the door. Some wake clutching shells they have never seen before. One man awoke with river sand in his mouth and could not stop smiling, no matter how much his family begged him to explain. Traditional priests recognize the signs immediately. They do not shout. They do not panic. Panic offends the river. Instead, they speak carefully. They warn families not to confront what they do not understand, not to insult the water, not to perform ceremonies without permission. Because the Volta is not haunted. It is inhabited. And what lives there does not forgive disrespect? After the gifts come the changes. The men grow distant. They stop attending gatherings. They sit by the water for hours without moving. Some refuse to eat salt. Others cannot sleep unless they are close to the river. Their eyes seem focused on something no one else can see. And then, one by one, they vanish. Canoes are found drifting with no one inside. Nets remain untouched on the shore. When bodies are recovered, there are no signs of struggle, no panic, no fight. Just calm, peaceful expressions, as if they had gone willingly, as if they had finally returned home. A few men come back, but those are the ones people fear the most. They speak softly. They avoid rivers, yet dream of them every night. They wake up screaming names no one recognizes. One survivor said she still visits him, angry that he returned. Another whispered, shortly before dying, that he did not drown. He was married. In the Volta River, not all drownings are accidents. Some are homecomings. And this is only one place. Across the continent, forests rearrange themselves while people are still inside them. Villages appear fully alive and vanish by morning. Roads scream at night. Trees knock back when touched. These places were not cursed by accident. They were cursed to contain something. And every year, fewer people remember the rules, which is why the places are growing louder, which is why they are beginning to be noticed again, and which is why this story does not end here. Place 2. The forest that walks at night, Mole National Park. The elders say the mistake most people make is believing cursed places announce themselves loudly. They don't. They reveal themselves slowly, patiently, the way a trap waits for the animal to forget it is there. That is why people still enter them. That is why people still disappear. And that is why the forest that lies near Mole National Park has never needed walls, signs, or warnings. It only needs time. Hunters who know the land will tell you the forest feels different before anything actually goes wrong. The air grows thick, heavy, like something pressing down on the lungs. Sound behaves strangely. Footsteps echo too loudly, then not at all. Birds stop calling. Insects fall silent. And when the silence comes, it doesn't feel empty. It feels attentive. Hunters say that is the moment the forest becomes aware that you are inside it. At first, nothing dramatic happens. The path looks familiar. The trees stand where they should. But then the forest begins to change in ways so subtle the mind refuses to accept them. A bend in the trail seems longer than it was moments ago. A tree you remember passing suddenly appears again in front of you. The ground slopes differently. The sun shifts too quickly. Compasses spin or stop working entirely. Hunters swear they have walked in straight lines for hours only to emerge exactly where they started, footprints circling themselves like a warning written in dirt. Some say the forest moves when no one is looking. Others say it never moves at all, and it is the people inside it who are rearranged instead. What everyone agrees on is this. Once the forest decides to keep you, running only makes it worse. The faster you move, the closer the trees seem to lean. Branches snag clothing where there was space before. Roots rise where the ground was flat. And then come the sounds. Drums. Slow at first. Distant. Not played by hands, but by something older, something that does not need to be seen to be obeyed. The rhythm begins to match the heartbeat. Hunters say when that happens, panic is no longer yours. It belongs to the forest. Those who escape do not speak easily afterward. Some refuse to enter any forest again. Others cannot sleep without lights on. One man returned days later believing he had been gone only minutes. His hair had gone gray. Another was found sitting against a tree, unharmed, whispering apologies to the leaves. When asked what happened, he said the forest asked him to stay, politely, patiently, as if it had always expected him to say yes. And when night falls in places like this, the elders say it is not darkness that arrives. It is permission. That same permission is what allows a village to exist only sometimes. Along old trade routes, far from paved roads and modern lights, travelers have spoken of villages that should not be there. Fully built, fires burning, food cooking, children laughing. The people are welcoming, too welcoming. They offer water immediately. They insist you rest. They insist you eat. And that is when the danger becomes absolute. Elders warn never to eat food offered by a village you do not recognize, especially when you arrive at near sunset. Because such villages are not meant to be found. They are meant to be entered. Those who spend the night describe dreams unlike any other. Heavy dreams. Pressing dreams. Dreams where the village feels older than time itself. When morning comes, the village is gone. No huts. No fires. No footprints. Just empty land. Some travelers wake up alone, their companions missing entirely. Others return home only to realize years have passed while they were gone a single night. Faces change, families age, and no one can explain where they have been. The elders say these villages exist between moments, and if you stay too long, time itself forgets you. But if the forest confuses and the vanishing villages distort, the road between Accra. Cape Coast Road terrifies for a different reason. Because it does not hide what it does. It announces it. Drivers speak of screams that tear through the night without warning. Screams that sound human. Desperate. Close. The kind that force the foot off the accelerator before the mind can argue. Taxi drivers know the stories. They know the exact stretches of road where engines die without reason, where headlights flicker, where radios dissolve into static. They also know the rule. Never stop. Because those who stop hear knocking from beneath the car. Slow. Deliberate. As if something underneath is checking to see if the door will open. Some drivers say they see figures standing in the road, unmoving, watching. Others report crying women who vanish when approached. Every account ends the same way. Those who leave their vehicles do not return as they were. Some are found days later unable to speak. Some are found dead with no injuries. Some are never found at all. The road does not chase them. It waits. It knows someone will stop eventually. And through all these places, river, forest, village, road, there is a single truth elders repeat quietly to those who will listen. These places were not cursed to punish humans. They were cursed to contain something. To bind it, to keep it from spreading. And every time someone ignores the rules, something shifts. Something loosens. That is why the drums are heard more often now. That is why the roads feel longer at night. That is why rivers whisper names more clearly than they used to. Modern life has made people forget how to listen, forget how to fear, forget that not every place welcomes footsteps. Because in Africa, some lands do not belong to the living. They tolerate us. And when they no longer have to, they reclaim what was never truly ours to begin with. And this is still only the beginning. Place 3. The village that exists only sometimes. Round pushpin along the old Salaga, Yindi trade routes, northern Ghana. Near the fringes of present-day Salaga and Yindi. There is land in northern Ghana where the earth behaves like memory rather than soil. Elders say that long before the first roads were carved, before colonial borders divided anything, these paths were walked so often that the ground learned the shape of human life. Traders passed through carrying salt, cola nuts, gold, slaves, stories, and secrets. Many never finished their journeys. And when too many footsteps vanish without answers, the land begins to collect them. Travelers who encounter the village say the world begins to feel wrong long before they see anything. The heat becomes thick, suffocating, as if the air itself is pressing against the chest. The wind slows unnaturally, then stops. Insects fall silent all at once, not gradually, but as if something has commanded them to listen. Even the sound of walking changes. Footsteps sound closer than they should, heavier than the body feels. Elders say this is the moment the land realizes someone is tired enough to be taken. Then the light appears. Not bright, not sudden, just a steady orange glow ahead, pulsing softly like breathing. Smoke rises in thin, careful strands, curling into the dark sky. As the traveler moves closer, shapes emerge. Huts, fires, people moving calmly about their evening routines. Voices drift through the air, laughter, conversation, the comforting noise of life continuing. A village, whole, alive, standing where, moments ago, there was nothing. To someone who has been walking for hours, this feels like mercy. To those who know the old warnings, it feels like judgment. The villagers never ask where you came from. They already seem to know. Smiles arrive too quickly, stretching a little too wide, lasting a little too long. Water is placed into your hands before thirst is acknowledged. Food follows immediately. Thick stews, warm bread, rich smells that cut through exhaustion and hunger alike. Refusing feels unnatural. Suspicion feels rude. And somewhere in that hesitation, the village tightens its hold. Children are always present. Barefoot, quietly observant when they stop laughing. Some travelers say the children stare without blinking. Others say they speak in voices that sound older than their bodies. Fires burn steadily, unnaturally steady, never flickering no matter how the air shifts. Shadows do not always match the movement of their owners. And the longer you stay awake, the more the village feels rehearsed. Those who eat or drink fall asleep quickly. Too quickly. Sleep crashes down like weight, pinning the body where it lies. The dreams begin immediately. Dreams where time folds in on itself. Where the same people age, die, and return unchanged. Radios dissolve into static. Conversations die mid-sentence. not because people choose silence, but because words suddenly feel unnecessary. Taxi drivers say the road begins listening before the screaming starts. When it comes, it does not sound distant. It erupts close, immediate. Human voices crying out in pain, terror, desperation. Screams that sound like accidents, assaults, emergencies unfolding just beyond the reach of the headlights. Screams that trigger instinct before logic. The foot lifts from the accelerator. Hands tighten on the wheel. The urge to stop feels overwhelming. Those who do not know the road slow down. Those who know it never do. Because stopping is an invitation. Drivers who stop report knocking beneath their vehicles. Not frantic, not aggressive. Slow, measured, deliberate. As if something underneath is counting the seconds. Some say the knocking moves, from the rear of the car to the sides, then directly beneath the driver's seat. Others see figures standing motionless at the edge of the road, faces hidden just beyond the light. Women crying, children calling, familiar voices speaking names. Engines stall without warning. Phones lose signal instantly. Doors feel heavier than they should. And the screaming changes, becoming quieter, closer, more personal. Taxi drivers speak of colleagues who stepped out to help and were never seen again. Of men found days later wandering the road, unable to speak, eyes tracking things no one else could see. Of others discovered dead inside their vehicles, no injuries, no struggle, faces frozen not in terror, but in understanding. Elders say the road learned long ago that humans are predictable, that compassion can be exploited, that curiosity overrides fear. The road does not chase. It waits, confident, patient, knowing someone will always stop eventually. It always does. Across Africa, these places still exist. The river still whispers names. The forest still rearranges itself. The village still waits for the tired. The road still screams at night. They were not cursed to kill indiscriminately. They were cursed to contain something. And every year, fewer people remember the rules. Now we want to ask you, have you ever heard stories like these where you live? Have you ever traveled through a place that felt wrong, even though nothing was visibly wrong? And if you found yourself standing by that river, walking into that village, or driving down that road at night, what would you do? If you enjoyed this journey into Africa's cursed places, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. Your stories may become part of the next episode, because this series doesn't end here. Next time, we leave Africa and descend into America's cursed places. Until then, walk carefully,